Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So for my first hair video of 2023, I decided I was going to do the Skulltimate Secrets ghoulies because they need some help.
Am I the villain? I don't think I'm the villain.
Now Claudine is absent because I'm not going to be touching her hair because it's crimped and it's poly. We're not doing that here. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. 3 of the dolls here have saran hair and 1 of them has poly. Who do you think it is? I'm still going to wash them, but a reroute is going to happen. Just not in this video. So let's take a look at our cast today. Our first doll is Cleo Denial, and she also has a saran hair, but it is very tacky. The dolls don't have glue in their heads anymore, but for whatever reason, this just felt very product of. Cleo also has a tinsel, which is my favorite thing in the world. If you know, you know. But all in all, I'm very happy that Cleo has saran, but I hate the rooting of the bang. Next, we have the disappointment of the group, which is Frankie with their poly. Honestly, this feels like a hate crime towards me, especially because I'm a Frankie stan, so saying that I'm not happy with a Frankie is very sad to me. But they gave them poly, and that is just the biggest sin in my book. So Frankie, go sit in the corner and think about what they did to you.
Oh my god. I don't know what to do. He slapped me.
Next up is fan favorite Draculaura, and she has really nice saran hair. It's just a little tacky like Cleo's, but it should wash out really easily. As we're recording right now.
No timer at the top. Oh. You can see me in the club, baby, acting real nice.
And last but not least is Laguna, my favorite from this collection. Her hair is actually really soft out of the box, but it's going to be so much nicer after I give it a boil, and it'll be completely straight. With the meet and greet over, we are now going to start washing the ghouls, so let me roll my intro real quickly and we can get started.
No.
Hi. So the first step we're going to do is disrobe the doll. So this is your doll nudity warning. Yeah, you've been warned. After fighting the ghouls to get their clothes off, we are now at the sink. I made some paper towel dresses that won't last that long. But before we get washing, let me show you all the materials I'm going to be using. First things first, we're going to use some shampoo. You can also use some dish soap, but you know, this is what I have right here. The next thing I'm going to be using is some conditioner. This bottle has lasted me a whole year, and I recommend getting it because it's only $2 or $3. Combs of different variety. You can also use a dog brush or a felting brush. This is good for like matted doll hair, which we won't use today. So with materials out of the way, let's start with Frankie, shall we? For Frankie, I'm going to be using a warm water setting. Poly hair is like kind of water resistant from what I've noticed, like it dries super fast, so I'm just letting it soak in this for a minute. Then I'm going in with my shampoo and really lathering it into Frankie's hair. I really hope that Polly and Frankie aren't a thing for much longer because it's just not the right hair type for them. After scrubbing them down, I'm going to just rinse their hair off with some water and they are good to go until the conditioning phase. Draculaura is next, and as I mentioned, she had tacky hair, so I'm going to wash her hair twice while also trying to make sure her bangs don't fly upward. Tacky hair on Draculaura dolls seems to be kind of a normal thing from what I've gathered through all of my G3 dolls, so if you have it, just wash it out the best of your ability. I recommend a charcoal shampoo, to be honest, because it really does degrease the hair really nicely. And with the one wash, it felt a lot nicer. I did a second one off camera because I don't think you need to see that to be real. Now Cleo's next, and she has tinsel and tacky hair, so this is going to be very interesting to tackle. So me and Tinsel really don't get along, and it's just one of those relationships, you know, I can't cut it off unless I just take it out of the head in general. But I definitely wanted to try something different this time around so I don't snag all the tinsel out because I do want to keep it in this doll's head. Plus Cleo without tinsel just doesn't feel right. So yeah, she's keeping her tinsel for sure. Next up is Laguna, and by now you can tell I was over the paper towel dresses. Now as soft as Laguna's hair was out of the box, it shed so much, and like not in a normal shedding way, but like there was like cut bits, I guess you can say. It was weird, but like yeah, be careful about that. Also, pro tip, don't let hair go down the drain. My drains are always clogged, and yeah, it sucks. But after washing the ghouls, we are now going to add some moisture back to the hair with the conditioner. Like I said, this is a really good conditioner, especially if you're just starting out. I really recommend it. The Suave brand usually does really well with doll hair. I'm a bit heavy-handed when it comes to conditioner. I always forget I'm not working with completely matted dolls 24/7. But hey, her hair was really soft after this, so slay. After massaging in the conditioner, I just go through with my comb and just start brushing her hair. Of course, the dolls with straighter hair are going to be just easier to brush out in general because there's not a lot of knots in straight hair, typically, unless it's an MGA doll, and they have a lot of product, so yeah. Eventually, I did move on to my finer tooth comb just so I could get out all the knots and make it really pretty, especially near the part line. And then once I'm done, I just let the doll sit for a few minutes and I will continue on with the rest now. So intermission time. So with this line, after reviewing them, well, especially Draculaura and Frankie, is that I wasn't really feeling them anymore. Like, I don't know. I was very excited when the promo picture leaked, and I think we all were. But then after like just having them in my hands for a little bit, I was just like, okay. Now, it could be because this line is very incohesive with the piecing of all the clothing and just how the dolls look in general. They're not really giving the energy that the characters typically give, even in G3 retrospect. So I'm hoping with future waves of the Skulltimate Secrets line, they'll like be a little more cohesive. I know that they're making an iridescent one, which was from a leak earlier this week. But if you were on the Monster High design team, what would you do as a future wave of the Skulltimate series line? Like, what would be a theme? I would love to hear your thoughts and opinions and like design concepts. But anyways, intermission over. It is time to rinse out the conditioner in all these dolls' hair. I'm using a warm water setting as usual, and we're just gonna get it all out. Make sure you don't have any residue lingering because you don't want that in your doll hair. I think once when I was like new to washing doll hair, I left like a lot of conditioner in like one of my doll's hair. So if you're heavy handed like me, just make sure you get all that conditioner out. You don't want any of that lingering in your doll's hair. Sadly, after all of this, Frankie's hair still felt meh. So I am going through with a boil wash.
Hooray!
So it's boil wash time, and it's time to get on my favorite Jack Skellington mug and just fill this pot up with some boiling water. Now, if you're a kid, I recommend adult supervision. This will really burn your skin. I burnt myself several times with boiling water, so you've been warned. And yeah, I'm not a liability. So here to teach you is Laguna Blue. She's starting off by putting her ends only in the boiling water and just swooshing it around. I don't know how she's doing it on her own, but she's just doing it. And after dunking and swooshing Laguna's hair in the water, I just comb it through from the top down. We should be doing it from the bottom up, but it's so long, so whatever. For dolls like Draculaura, I'm just focusing on the ends, and I will eventually pour boiling water over her head to kind of help the top, but I'm just trying not to mess up the bangs. Now that the water's cooled down a bit, I think it's time for Cleo. I was trying to do her second to last because of the tinsel, and I'm also using my wider tooth metal comb for her. I've used it pretty much on her this entire time just so I don't snag any of the tinsel, and it actually helped a lot. Now, I typically don't boil wash polypropylene hair, but because I am probably going to be rerooting this doll, I just wanted to test it out. Now, of course, I have let it set for a while, so it's not purely boiling, but it's still hot water. But now that the dunking and brushing's done, we're going to pour boiling water over their head. So doing this is very dangerous, but it really helps smooth the hair out like amazingly because you're not dunking it anymore, but just don't burn yourself, please. But this is my final step after boiling because I just let them sit in their stands and their hair just drip dries the way it is, and it should be super straight after that. But now that the entire spot trip is over, it's time to let the ghouls dry on a towel for 5 minutes and then put them on a stand and see how they are overnight. And here are the ghouls after 24 hours. I really wanted to show you guys this part on camera because it's so satisfying to comb their hair out after it's been drying for 24 hours. Like, look, it's all stringy and then it goes very smooth and silky. As you can see, Frankie's hair is still kind of curling up in one end. So the boiling water didn't really do anything, but it is a lot softer now. Now, if Cleo didn't have tinsel, this would have been a lot nicer to watch, but I mean, look at that. So nice. But I do need to trim off the loose end. Draculaura kind of fell, so she ruined her own little brush out moment. She definitely needs one more boil, but her hair is so much nicer than it was in the box. I saved the best for last because look at the transformation. It's literally so soft and so straight, like amazing hair quality. Like, this is what all Monster High dolls should have. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna get them all dressed so we can end off this video. But yeah, Laguna Supremacy. Okay, guys, so they are all finally washed and put into their main outfits from the profile pictures. I think there's some variations here and there, but like, this is how they usually look. Honestly, they all pretty much washed up pretty nice. Again, Frankie's hair pretty much looks the same, but it's kind of giving what it's supposed to give for the artwork comparison, so I'm not too mad at it. I am probably still going to reroot them just because I think Frankie deserves Saran hair over Polly. As for Claudine, I didn't wash her, so she's just kind of chilling out. As for the other three, they all had Saran hair and they washed up really nicely. Cleo's tinsel actually didn't give me any problems, so definitely recommend using a wider tooth comb when doing Cleo's hair. Draculaura's hair is super nice. I'm probably going to boil it one more time because there is like a little little kink right there, but other than that, she's perfect. Only thing I'm having issues with is the beret and her bangs. No matter what angle I put in the beret and how much gel I put, it's always messing up the bangs. Kind of just like a lose-lose situation. And Laguna had the best transformation out of all the ghouls, but she had the best hair. It's super silky. After a good boil, this doll's hair is amazing. I recommend her. She does have really thin hair, but I feel like it works in her benefit if you're going to keep it straight. But if you're trying to curl it, I don't know how that's going to be. But anyways, guys, let me know your thoughts on the Skulltimate series girls now that they're finally all washed and put together. If this is your first time watching my channel, hi, my name is Jay and I do doll stuff, and I'd love you to join the channel. If you aren't following me on Instagram or on TikTok, it's at ZombieXCourt as well. And if you want to see any of the reviews for these dolls, they are in my G3 playlist, which I'll link down below with my hair videos. But anyways, guys, I will see you in the next video. But till then, bye.